You're told missing people vanish suddenly. A door left open. A car abandoned. A phone that stops ringing. But what if you don't disappear all at once? What if you keep going to work? Keep answering emails? Keep sleeping in your own bed and the only thing missing is you? I work in missing persons. This is the case I was trained to believe couldn't exist. Unless you make one quiet mistake. Unless you assume you're still fully here. Before this, my life was aggressively ordinary. Municipal office, fluorescent lights, cold coffee, files that smelled like dust and time. I handled long-term disappearances, adults mostly, cases where hope doesn't snap its thins. I trusted patterns, timelines, paper trails. The warning signs weren't supernatural. That's important. They were procedural. A rapport with my name spelled wrong. A voicemail I didn't remember leaving. A coworker asking if I'd already transferred departments. I blamed stress, burnout, repetition smoothing over memory. Then I found something in the database. A record that shouldn't have existed. I didn't understand it yet. I only know that's when I stopped trusting mirrors. This wasn't about ghosts, or hallucinations, or madness. It was about process. I was auditing cold cases. Routine, safe, mechanical. I typed my last name by mistake. The system lagged that familiar municipal pause, then returned a result. Status, active classification. Missing presumed voluntary last seen 3 weeks ago. The photo was me. DMV lighting, neutral expression. Recent. I laughed a sharp, dismissive sound. I flagged it as a glitch. Then I checked the access log. The last update was made by me. Daylight makes lies easier. The office smelled like toner and burnt coffee. Phones rang. Someone argued about a printer. Nothing felt wrong. I told myself databases duplicate, records collide, errors happen. Then a detective stopped by my desk. He asked carefully if I planned on coming back. I asked what he meant. He said I'd already cleared out my things. Said I needed time. I opened my desk drawer, empty. Even the notebook indentation was gone. People remember you differently once you start disappearing. My neighbor said I hadn't taken the trash out in weeks. The barista insisted I'd switched to decaf after everything. My sister called, confused, asking why I'd sent her a goodbye email, one that sounded like me, but wasn't. I searched my sent folder. There it was, time-stamped, familiar cadence, subtly wrong, to calm, to complete, like someone finishing my sentences permanently. If you've ever felt watched in an empty room, you know that sensation. Not fear, evaluation. Missing persons cases always come down to objects, receipts, fibers, footprints. I found mine. A storage locker rented in my name, paid in cash. Inside were clothes I recognized, but couldn't remember wearing. Shoes with dirt still packed into the soles. A jacket with a dark, rust-colored stain on the cuff. The worst part wasn't the items, it was the care. Everything was folded, clean, preserved, like evidence someone intended to keep. The reassignment email arrived quietly. No meeting, no explanation. Just notice that my cases had been redistributed due to my extended absence. My badge stopped working the next morning. At home, I stood in front of the mirror longer than usual, waiting for something to lag. Nothing did. But my phone didn't recognize my face anymore. I had to use the passcode. I read the entire case file. Technically, I wasn't breaking policy. The language was clinical. It described a gradual disengagement, a subject physically present but increasingly inconsistent with prior behavioral markers, missed microhabits, altered speech patterns, emotional flattening. Conclusion: subject appears to have vacated role identity prior to physical disappearance. That's when it clicked. I wasn't replaced. I was closed out. Missing persons work doesn't begin when someone vanishes. It begins when they stop fully inhabiting themselves. The version of me that reacted instinctively, remembered birthdays, felt urgency. That person had already left. What remained was momentum, a body continuing a routine, a placeholder. I don't know where the real me went, but I know this: cases like mine don't get solved. They get archived. I still exist on paper, still have a name, a photo, a history. But if I disappear tomorrow, no one will rush. According to the system, I already did. If you've ever felt a half-second behind your own life, like you're re-watching yourself operate, instead of choosing pay attention, disappearing doesn't always mean leaving.